Joseph Atick. I'm the chairman of the Identity Counsel International. My area of specialty is the responsible deployment of identity for the benefit of humanity. This afternoon we've conducted an interesting debate. It was the first time that at an industry forum we've been able to bring together industry practitioners as well as a privacy practitioner coming together at the same table to try to address the question of privacy and the role of the biometric industry in that debate. We've also done a quick survey, which to our surprise we've had about 60 people respond from the audience. So they filled the survey, we analyzed the data on the fly, and we shared the results with the audience. What came out of the debate was consistently the audience and the panel believed that while we feel that there is an erosion in our privacy in the modern world that we live in today, privacy is going to continue to be a very important factor in our lives, and primarily because they believe it's all about control. They believe loss of privacy means a loss of control. I think that theme came across again and again and again. There was significant concern about the role of governments and the conglomeration of biometric data in databases. However, there seems to be a consensus that there are applications, especially in the public sector and in public safety, that justify the use of biometric technology. There was also a recognition that do not blame the technology if there are potential for abuse. The potential for abuse does not come from the technology, but comes from a faulty process in place, and that better control of the processes and better policies could deliver value to benefit society without infringing on the most important thing that we hold precious, and that's our privacy. I think the debate was very civil and animated and with lots of user and audience participation.
From a policing perspective, one of the policing and public security perspective, one of the key issues is perception of the force as people interacting with their community. Do you think technology can help enhance that, or will it act against?
In fact, it all depends on how transparent the use of technology by the police will be. The public believes in the important role the police in the community has, but what's important is not to create applications that creates mismatch with the expectations. If you are told that the police is using technology, there should be a transparency, there should be a due process if something goes wrong. So the police hiding that they're using technology and not telling the community about it could be a significant challenge. So notice is very important. Dialogue with the community is very important. What's also important is to make sure that there is no mission creep or expansion of the scope. The police should say, we are going to be using face recognition technology, and the purpose behind it is to ensure that people who have warrants for their arrest are in the database, and we're looking for those people. If you're not in that database, you should have nothing to worry about. We are not going to be profiling you for any reason. Similarly, if you happen to be in front of cameras that are activating face recognition, you should not worry that you are going to be linked over a long period of time, that there is a data protection agreement with the community that's explicit, privacy policy that is explicit, that will say we will keep this data for, let's suppose, 30 days, but after that, that is deleted, and there is a mechanism for people to verify that. I think the issue, it comes down to trust. You can use all the technology, and it's wonderful that technology is being built to improve society, improve public safety. But the issue here, you cannot use technology to lose the trust of the community. Use it to enhance trust.
So is this overall an issue of changing mindsets or changing legislation to reinforce the use of that technology?
I think in developing trust, the public will need to see that there is legislation in place that governs the scope of use and actually explains the rules of the game. If the police is to use this technology in a positive way, there should be some explanation. If they exceed the scope of the use, what the penalties would be. And so indeed, we do need legislation in place, but that legislation is not to ban the police, but to enable the police to say, I'm legitimately using this application within the domains of the law that I'm allowed to do to enhance public safety. And I think in the process of creating legislation, you engage the community in the dialogue, and the issue becomes brought up, and people discuss it and argue about it, and they will together find a common ground, like in the debate that we've had today. There were people representing different ends of the spectrum, and it was very, very nice to see how they can come together when there is logical arguments going on.